With the holidays upon us, many are getting ready to start wrapping those presents. Yes, wrapping. Hopefully you've bought them, but toy safety is really important in your life. Child life specialist Brittany Angulo is here with more on what you can expect when your kids start to unwrap those presents. So ideally the gifts are bought, but you can return them. Perhaps you're going to give people some advice here on what to look for, because your kids are unwrapping these gifts. They're so excited. What's the biggest problem that parents run across when the child's receiving these presents from, say, grandparents, aunts, uncles?
I would say not knowing how to check for safety.
Okay.
So I would, number one, say that you want to make sure that the toys are age and developmentally appropriate. So most toys on the packaging have a label that say for children 3 and up, or for children 5 to 8, for example, and that'll give you an understanding of whether the toy is safe for your child, and also whether or not it's going to be developmentally appropriate, so not leave them frustrated.
Right.
The second thing I would say is choking. So especially with the young ones, making sure that there's no small parts or balls, no batteries that are exposed. Most toys come with a battery compartment that has to be opened with the tool, but just checking that, and maybe grandparents don't know that, so just making sure that you check that before you give it to the kiddos. High-powered magnets are a big one, and we saw that a lot last year in the hospital. The little balls are really dangerous when swallowed, especially, and so just making sure that those, actually they say that they stay away from kids under 14.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and then balloons, which is a funny thing, but balloons, so any that are underinflated or broken, you want to make sure those are in the trash.
And so I have a 2-year-old, and so one thing I always look at also is the packaging.
Yes.
It's wonderful that the toy is age appropriate, but then you've got the twisties, and you've got the, just getting it out of the packaging, what's left of the packaging, making sure you clean all that up too.
Cleaning up the toys, the ribbons, any strings, and all of the packaging to make sure, because that can be a strangulation hazard.
Sure.
And it can also be a choking hazard.
Talk a little bit about the age appropriate. Let's dive into school-age kids. What do we need to watch? Because I think they get to a certain age and you think, oh, they can handle almost anything.
Sure. I think 2 things specifically. I would say riding toys like bikes, scooters, skateboards. Those are big for the school-age kids. Making sure that they have a properly fitting helmet.
That's a great idea.
What we see in the hospital a lot is when kids are come in, is that they got the bike or the skateboard, but they didn't get the helmet. They were maybe waiting for the helmet. So checking to make sure that you have a helmet, it fits properly. We always go with the 2-finger rule for bike helmets. It's 2 fingers between the eyebrows and the helmet, no more than 2 fingers underneath here and then 2 fingers here, and that the helmet doesn't go side to side on the head. So just to make sure that it's well fitting. And there's different types of helmets for different types of sporting gear. So making sure that you have a bike helmet for bikes and then a multi-sport helmet for skateboards and scooters.
That's a really good point. So you're part of a safety committee. Tell us about that, maybe a main focus of what you guys talk about and some warnings for parents.
Sure. So at Palm Beach Children's Hospital, we're a level 1 trauma center. And so we have a dedication to making sure that kids not only leave well and healthy after they've had a trauma, but also that they leave with the information that's appropriate for where they were being unsafe. So we've partnered with Safe Kids in the county to provide all sorts of different safety education for kids after they've encountered a trauma. So for example, if a kid was in a car accident and they were unsafely seatbelted, or maybe not in the correct car seat, we provide car seat safety information, and we help install car seats. So just all sorts of different things to make sure that they have the resources they need and not just being sent back into the same unsafe situation that they came in with.
Definitely just things to think about as everyone's, because you could have a 2-year-old opening toys next to a 14-year-old, and definitely different safety, I guess, instructions, if you will, for both ages. So really great information. Thank you. We just all need to be careful, be aware, throw away those extra little parts. Thank you so much. We appreciate it. For more information,